So we're gonna start with character one, Murdred.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Jumping on that.
I have it open on the stream.
Okay, I have,
For
I've
everyone
got
to
it on my.
see.
Okay, I'm not even gonna bother looking at your reference because at this point we shouldn't have to worry about your reference, but I'm glad you have it on there. So you just went with, so we're not doing versions anymore? Is that what we're not doing? Wait a second, I'm not seeing this. I'm not seeing, hold on. Let me get this. So I seem to not be able to. Oh, there you go. There you are. Okay, there we go. Good. No, you're good. Keep going. Keep going. I had a thing that was in the way, so you can keep sharing. All right, you're not sharing anymore.
Am I
Are you?
not? I
Yep.
think I am.
What am I do? What have I done? What have I done? I don't know. Here, side by side speaker. There we go. Oh, man. Here I'm thinking I broke it. It's excellent. Okay. So 49-year-old. Okay, that's better. I seem to remember we had like 49-year-old things, and they had like big white beards and that kind of stuff. So it's good that this isn't 49 years. There's not a whole lot to talk about with this one. It was to me, I like that just looking at it, fish jaw. Oh, on his head. Oh, that's rad. I like that idea. That's slick. Let's see. Believe science violence is the answer. Okay. There's a flirt. Okay. So a flirt is kind of the reason why I keep hovering on words like flirt and stuff is it's a body language thing. And so it's a good motivator for putting in performance in your poses and stuff. And so yeah, they walk with a limp, and so it's good that we see that there's a little bit of a limp there, but that could just be like, is that part of the flirt where their knee is up and just like, hey, come on over and I'll stab you and then I'll kiss you too. Is that kind of thing, or is it like, what does this character look like if they're actually standing there, or if they're in a stride? I guess I'm looking for character now. I'm looking for this pose is kind of interesting, but it's not saying much about the character. And from where I want to come from is like, I want to look at this character and go like, oh yeah, okay, this is a flirty type person. And I think it's not numbered, but the one with the little stars around it on the left hand side where it's kind of looking at the camera, that's pretty flirty. So that's kind of cool to see there. But when we see the main poses, it's I'm not seeing those poses. And then I'm not seeing that flirt. And flirt is, it's like, that's kind of the shoulders up and they're like, hey, come on over, that kind of stuff. And I guess I want to see that in there. I kind of like where you're going, but I'd really love to see you push your character a little bit more in that kind of stuff. You have some really fun stuff going on there. I like the hair and the pauldrons with the big spikes on them and that kind of stuff. I think that's really cool. I think you could go bigger with that. Work the pauldrons in, maybe the hair falls around the pauldrons, almost like it's like hidden trap, over grass or something like that. I like the fish jaw on the head and that kind of stuff. Okay. But I want to see the pose in there. I want to see what this character's about. Right now, this character just kind of looks like, this big old, it's a sword, but it's a dagger. I have this big old dagger thing, and look at me. Yeah. But I'm not getting that vibe from there. So that's what I'm seeing with that. Okay. All right. Our next one is, what is that? Character 3.
It's character 3, yeah.
All right, character 3. Which one are we going to look at? Oh, okay, this one here. Okay.
Yeah, the first image is just information about the character.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay,
yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah. So this is just a 15-year-old Yuan Ti paladin, etc.
Okay. Believes that all people deserve respect. Okay. Big. What is big dick energy? What is big dick energy? Just
I think that just means like they're like super
arrogant.
I think arrogant is the best way to put it, but like,
okay, sort of like
it's like confident, but like you're like so confident and like self-assured that you don't have to like show off. You're just like,
Yeah.
it like radiates off of you without
Everyone
having
just
to-
knows.
But is it a negative thing or is it a positive thing?
It's a
That's what I'm.
positive
It's usually a positive thing.
It's a
Yeah.
positive thing.
Okay, because if you think of, I'm thinking of like, I don't know, when I was an art student in high school, right? Like there was the jocks that had that sort of big dick attitude, and those guys we all wanted to light on fire. So that I need to be aware of that. So they are self-aware, but everybody else is aware that they are. I don't see how that's a positive, but okay. Cool. This is great. I'm gonna look back at I think this is another one of those things. It's like, it's the character flaw. They always mess with people when they really shouldn't. Character ideals. They believe that all people deserve respect, even though they mess with them. They're conspiracy theorists. So, just I like the costume. I think your costume is really interesting, and you're doing some really great stuff. It's fun to see that. I love the pantaloons that you have on that second one, the one in the middle, not on the right hand side. And I love this pose. I think the pose that's over here on the far right, with that huge warhammer that's on there, that's really slick. That pose is saying a little bit more about this character than the costume is. So then I guess it begs the question. It's like the last two, I don't know, did I miss something wherein you guys decided it's like, okay, this is going to be costume day and we're just going to show the character's costume, or is this like the finalization of the character, or where are we going with it? And so, as much as I like looking at these kind of straight up and down, these, almost near T-pose shots, they're just anamorphics. I like this little thumbnail even better. I also, I like the gesture of the cones in the hair. What are that's I forget what the type of hat is called, but so is that hair, or is it that sort of Renaissance hat that the ladies used to wear in the castle and that kind of stuff? I like your weapons are really cool and that kind of stuff. But this person they seem conniving, at least under the information. It's like they mess with people, even though they respect people, they still mess with them. They're kind of a conspiracy theorist and stuff. So it's kind of like, I don't know, if you think about it, let's see, what would you guys know? Like, I don't know, Flynn Rider, right, from Tangled. He's kind of that kind of expression. But whenever you see that character in his designs and stuff, he's always kind of thoughtful, or he's planning, he's thinking about that kind of stuff. And I'd love to see, for me, I'd love to see that. I personally like this what you have going on in the middle. I like this big hammer that she has, this great big war hammer that's in there on the left hand side. And the exorcism slip is really slick, and all these really cool little things that you've added to it. I actually like the exorcism slip hanging down, and then the bells on the belts, because that helps break up the figure. But yeah, I like that middle one. I want to see what this character, I want to see what this character's about, right? Right now it's kind of hard to tell. Right now they are assured, obviously they're self-assured, they look like, or they're ready to go, they're like, yes sir, but they don't look like they're telling the story with the pose, and I'd like to see that. So awesome though. Spike explosion motif. All right, cool, good, looking good. So is that what happened? Did you guys just get together and just say we're going to work on costume today, or did I miss something? Or
I think it just depended on each person.
Oh, okay.
Or each, yeah.
Okay.
Because this is one character. Both of these two images, they're the same character.
Oh, okay. Angelina. With the wings. All right. This is cool. This is cleric investigator with a reckless attitude and a first talk later personality. He's also a hopeless romantic who loves ragers. Oh, this is the one that was in the bar the last time. It was like they were holding up their hand and that kind of stuff. So is it like two characters? Is it like two characters that because that's pretty slick. I don't know what about this, but this is really cool. That's really different. I like the wheels on there. I think that's really slick. And this is really cool too. I like that it can make an egg of itself. So stuff that I think are working. I really like the fact that you have the 6 wings on there, because that feels like it's more like ASMR or ASMR. And it has those 6 wings on there. You know, this pose, this is what I'm talking about, guys. Look at this. If you see this one, number 1 here, and it's like, it's got 2 bottles. It could be wine, it could be whiskey, it could be rum, whatever it is. You got the 6 wings on there. That's definitely an ASMR. And, you know, just the look on their face, it's like first look, it's like, I'm not quite sure what that is, but they're having a good time, right? And so it's poses like that, which I think are really solid. Poses like this, I don't think they're saying what it needs to say, like reckless attitude and act first, talk later personality. This one's sort of like, you know, I think there's another character in there. It's like they're kind of shy and they're worried and stuff, but look at the contrast between these two. Okay. And so I think that's what we're trying to say. Like, I see this, and this is similar to the other ones. It's like, yeah, okay, here's this person. I'm not quite sure, but look at what's happening here, right? Just this pose is, you know, they're having a good time, right? They're whatever it is, they're having a good time. And so I think that's the kind of stuff that, you know, I personally am looking for. Whoops. And what you should really be thinking about, it's like, there's still room to put costume in, right? There's still room to incorporate, you know, there's even armor on there, and I guess it's like scale, even though it looks like really hairy legs, but it's scale armor and that kind of stuff. So but there's a lot that's going on here, and so I think that helps take you to the next level. Like, you're ready, like whoever's going to see this, you know, like your director or something is going to come on, they're going to go, yeah, okay, that's kind of cool. And in fact, it's like, whoa, okay, well, maybe 2 bottles is too much. You know, I can imagine some people like, well, maybe they're too excited, maybe they shouldn't be that excited, but at least you took us there, right? And you know, doing character design is sort of like it's kind of a bus ride, right? And sometimes you don't know where you're going, but you know where you want to end up, you know. And so it's all about the ride, you know. And sometimes the door opens and you're like, man, it's, you know, it's like Greyhound. Oh, it's somebody used the bathroom, it smelled terrible back there, and that kind of stuff. And sometimes it's, you know, it's great, it's on a charter and everything was awesome, you know, that kind of stuff. So, but stuff that I think is really clever. I really like this. I like to see what the manipulations the wings can do. I think that's really interesting and exciting. I think number 1 is my favorite pose from the entire group. I'm not quite sure what this is about, what these 2 characters are about. That might require, it's a guardian angel. So if this character if they have 2 different personalities, and those 2 personalities work together to achieve one character, that might be kind of interesting as well. But I think the one that explains it the most is this number 1 here. I think that's really cool. It says a lot. But you have some really great ideas, person who did this. I think you've done there's some really interesting stuff. You know, I think this is pretty cool. I like what you're going on here. And she's like, oh yeah, go away. Okay. Yeah. But there's so much expression in there. I think that's really important. And there's something that's really cool about this. I'm not sure what that means, but I really like, there's this big wheels on there. I don't know what that means. I don't know if, you know, that it's like, I like it, but I think the one that's most successful so far is this one here. And even if it's and now at this point, this is where you can really start exploring the costume and the armor and, you know, that kind of stuff. What kind of, you know, it'd be cool if there was some, you know, if there was some cloth or a tunic or something that would hang down here a little tiny bit, or do that kind of stuff. So, you know, so it has that sort of feeling of having been a knight, or a knight of the heaven or something like that. So if there was some sort of tunic in there, I think that'd be cool. All right, dig it. Looking good. I like it. I like the wheel things, but I don't know if it's what the character needs. Okay. Oh,
we're at monsters now.
Oh, we're on monsters. Wow, we're just racing through.
We're racing through.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we got 2 submissions for this one. So
okay, great. The more the merrier. All right, look at you, looked up succumimus. Oh, look at there it is. So good on you for that. I still think, yeah, I feel like that's stronger. I'm liking where this is going. I think now that we're past the silhouette stage, look at how cool this is. It feels like it's just designed better. This one's just getting a little, it doesn't feel like it has the same kind of visual power as this one does. This one has, the leg, there's a separation of the legs where we can have a little bit of the torso that's in there. We can see where the rib cages are. And then we have this extra appendage on there, which I think is really slick and that kind of stuff. So this just feels stronger. And this one feels like I don't know, you're getting like, it's like, I'm going to be honest and just say, this is what it feels like. It feels like your lead did this, okay, and they're like, just do this, and they handed it off to their JA or their PA or something like that, and the PA is like, okay, I'm gonna try it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it, and they kind of do this, and then like you're waiting for your lead to come back over and it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe we can try and do some other stuff. So if this is the same person, like you've captured magic right there. Now what you need to do is you need to transfer that visual magic into this bit. And so then I think we should have some more space between the mid leg to the hind leg, and that kind of stuff. I think these are really interesting with these little these craters with this boiling lava goo that's going to be in there. I think that's really cool. It's a great idea. But if that lava is pouring out and stuff, what is that doing to this creature? Is it creating more armor? Is it creating a carapace for it? That kind of stuff. And so I like that you're trying some new different stuff. But be careful where it feels like you're almost getting a little too lazy. Like this is sort of becoming a hat, and I don't know if it should be a hat or not, but I think, and then look how large this character's mouth is in comparison to this overall shape and that kind of stuff. And so with the suggestion of doing a Spinosaur, a Succumimus, or a Baryonyx or something like that, still incorporate those other elements and own it, make it yours. It's like, it's cool that it has that head on there, but now, it's like, maybe it's wider, maybe it is more like an alligator. I think that's an alligator. It's hard to see. Yeah, with that rounded, it could be a crocodilian. Anyway, it's a crocodilian of some sort. So, maybe we could see more of the structure in the jaw, and that would make it really interesting. But then the scales are that craggy, broken up lava stuff that's on there. Okay. So yeah, I still love this one. I like where we're going with this one. These feel okay. This is starting to feel a little bit like a seahorse. So it's kind of changing it's kind of changing the vibe of it. And so this one feels more like it's going to crawl around in a cave and that kind of stuff. Keep it strong, don't let the limbs get flimsy on you. Go back and find where this, even if it's not going to show the scapula, let's show us, imagine those scapulae, okay? And then so like if this guy has scapula and we're going to have a little bit of a neck that's going to thrust in through here off the rib cage, then that scapula is going to come up. It's going to be in there. So now we can come down. We can really push down. We can say, okay, this hand is going to come out. The paw is going to come out there. And then we can say this guy is going to attach over there. So it's almost, like this. And then we can say, okay, that rib cage is going to come up and around over here. And then you can say, okay, well, this guy is going to be back here. So we're going to see that leg kind of bend and like that. And then, you can kind of feel it sliding around, or maybe this, that kind of stuff. So this is getting a little mushy. Okay. So I think, you've got this really interesting thing that's going on in there. Don't let it get too mushy. Don't get, no big dick attitude yet. Okay. You can be like, oh yeah, I can totally draw these. It's so good. I'm so good. Stop me. Just keep exploring and thinking about, like, how cool it can be, and then, keep that volume happening in there. Don't let it get too flat. Okay, cool. Is everybody left? Look at that, they're dead quiet. And then,
There's a
I know there's more. Hang on. I just admitted somebody.
Did you?
I did. I just got to learn about admitting somebody.
Well,
Okay.
welcome, person who just joined us.
Yeah, who just
We're on
joined us.
monsters right now.
Woo!
If you made a character, don't worry, it's being recorded right now.
Yeah, it's being. We can go back. All right, this is cool. Number 2 is, what's the difference between number 1 and 2? 2 is just,
I think it's just different color palettes.
Yeah, I think it looks. I like number 2 better. It feels more ethereal. Yeah, and number 1 feels like it's gas jets. I don't know. It depends on what you're going for. But yeah, okay. This is really cool. It might be one of those things like I used to date this person who and we only went out at night, and then I met that person again during the day, and it was just like they were too scary, or I was too scary, and we broke up. And so maybe this is just a character that is always at night, and so it just always looks cool and that kind of stuff. Because I see it's at night, but then yeah, during the day, like, why not orange? You know, why not orange, like fire, or green? What's that stuff that burns green? There's an element that burns green. So why not green? But yeah, I'm liking number 2. Number 2 is looking really great. I'd like to see, this is a great pose that's in here. I love this tail, and I love the weight in the leg on this leg. I almost want to see this leg either coming up a little bit higher or pushing out, like it's just laid down into contact. And then we can see that guy. Things that I think are really strong with this one is these legs look really long, but these, I almost want to make this leg go up a little bit longer, make them go, so it's just like this, it scuttles over big rocks and stuff. And it's like, yeah, rocks, no problem. I'm going to scuttle over them and then, burn your soul and that kind of stuff. This is really clever. I like this. This is really fun. That you're doing that kind of stuff. When I first saw it, I was like, whoa, is that reference? But no, that's cool. So that's really clever. But yeah, go with number 2. Number 2 is looking slick. But again, if you can imply it in here, and then keep those things solid, right? It's like, even though this is kind of amorphous, look at how, here's this bone ridge. The eye bone ridge is flattening out right in through here, and it's getting really mushy right there. It's like, where's that head? Where's the brain case in there? You don't have to draw it in, but it's, give it structure. It needs to have a little bit of structure. Look how, this is getting a little mushy right in there. It's getting a little mayonnaisey. We don't want no mayonnaisey monsters. They're not scary, right? All right. No mayonnaisey monsters. All right.
Monster
that was
2.
2. That was number 2. Number 2 looks a lot like number 1. Oh yeah, I remember this one. Okay, we don't need that. Whoa, your colors are awesome. This is one of those, you guys all do like, why not both? Why not both? That's cool. If it could vibrate between those, that'd be slick. Why don't you hand that over? Does it really talk like that? Why don't you pardon me? Hello, do you have Grey Poupon? Okay. Let's see, what am I looking at? 1, 2. Those are the old ones, right? New silhouette. This is a new silhouette? I guess I don't know. Just nod your head, person. I can't even see anyone. All right, so yeah, this is awesome. So this is looking really cool. Whoa, look at that. It's big. Yeah, okay, so this one, it has structure. Look at that. You can see the jaw, the crease of the jaw. It's going around. You can actually see how that eye orbit is attached into the skull and that kind of stuff. So that's pretty slick. You might want to change the bulb of the nose because it feels like it's getting a little round like Rudolph. And so you might want to actually like pull that nose up and over so that it makes more of a bulbous shape. So then you can come down. So then there is going to be a little notch, which is going to be fun. And that's the biting notch. And if you brought this up and over and then bring this up and around, then you can actually have that eye that's going to move in there like that. As long as, it doesn't have that little diamondy shape that's on there. I don't know, unless that's what you're going for. But this is really nice structure here. I almost want to see, I know I'm like starting to ask too much, but it'd be so cool to see more tendrils on this. And those tendrils are sort of amorphous. This is awesome right in here. This is great. Because you know why? Because there's character in there. It's like, what's this guy do? Well, he comes over and he like tases you, and then your pants fall off. Apparently, your legs fall. Your pants fall off. Your legs fall off. But yeah, this is looking awesome. Nice structure. These colors are great. I love the colors and stuff. I think this one's really working. I think this one's coming along really nicely. You might want to, now that you're at that point, you might want to take and make this guy really big and just see what it looks like in this form. Okay. And you know, now's your chance to, you know, it's like, this is so small now, but it's like this whole entire thing. It's really cool, all these little things that are happening, but these could work more as thumbnails. This is really interesting too. But it'd be cool to see that in color. I actually like A little bit better, but B is cool too, if you can see those transfer. Nice. Well done. Good job. That was a good choice to make that bigger and that kind of stuff. I like that tasing. I left all these marks all over my screen. All right. 3. There's 2 and 3. Okay, let me just do we'll just make those go away. All right. No preview available. What? Files and owners trash. Yikes.
You might want to reload it.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think it must have got removed. Oh, it must have got removed and then reposted. That's what happened. There we go. What's the name? What's his name? I was just trying to think of his name. It's that Odin's horse. Loki's child that he had with the horse. What's his name from Northumberland? I don't know. Anyway, cool. I wonder if there's. I love these things. I think these are really cool, and there's something about it. Like I like 3. I like the color composition, color, whatever your color variant in 3, and 2. And I wonder if there's a way to make this sort of not scary with, like, if you could take away the mouth on this particular view. Like this is, you know, when you're creeping up and then you're like, oh, it's so beautiful, and it has like this golden mane thing and it looks really beautiful. It's sort of like a unicorn, but it maybe the arms are a little bit hidden and stuff. I mean, they can still be there, but the arms are a little bit hidden. But then we have the hooves up and stuff, and then we have this, you know, this beautiful, magnificent thing. But then when you get up close to it, then it's like this. Maybe the mouth needs to be bigger. Look at that tongue in there. That's so awesome. And these teeth are great. There's so much character in there. It'd be great if like maybe the whole abdomen can open, and then like the legs actually look like a crab or a spider, and they all kind of reach around and grab you or something. That'd be cool as heck. But this is a really great idea. You know, it's almost a thestral from Harry Potter, if you're into that kind of stuff. But now that you have these 2 on there, how cool would it be to make them, you know, now there's these 2 different things. You know, it's like that, it's like you perceive it this way, but this is actually what's there. And when you finally realize that it's already gnawing on your femur or something. But yeah, that's cool. So person who did this, now's your chance to put this in some poses. Like, you know, this is kind of fun to see this pose in there. What's it look like if it's coming down off the structure, or what's it look like in a leap or in combat pose or something like that? So then you can start to hit in that direction. Okay, this is pretty sedate. You know, this is, if this guy just lurks around and just eats bones of the dead, and then it's not too much of a worry. But when it's in a combat pose, then we go back to what Owen was saying last week, is like, do you want to, you know, are you going to fight this thing, and what's it look like when it's going to, you know, try to kill you? All right. If you see anything running from this creature besides angels. All right, cool. All right, the Zagora. Awesome. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we went from that, right, to this one over here. Okay. Is this I guess I was seeing it as like amorphous, as sort of gaseous. But is it trying to be that kind of thing on this one? I'm not quite sure. So this is exactly what we were talking about with the other one. It's like, here's its lure, and it's like, hey, come here, pet me. Rah! Now I've got your hand. And that kind of stuff. I think it's really cool. You might want to make the mouth a little bit larger. Look up like the, deep sea fish with the lures on them. Like they're not hagfish, but they're whatever they are. You might want to look at mouths like that and see how that jaw could work. And if there was another way that you could manage that neck rather than having, because this is, that neck feels a little weak right in there. So like if you could give a little bit thicker neck, I think there was something really cool about this one, but that neck felt a little bit different on this one. So maybe it had a little bit of an arc to it or something. And so if we can, rather than just have this like straight up and down neck, I'm just saying that because I don't know how many characters have you seen, animated characters with a neck that looks like this little stick thing, when in fact it's like, it's got to support the weight of its head. And so if it had a little bit thicker neck in there, or had a little bit more of an angle to it, I think that would be really cool. Like if this came out and then it had a little bit of a bend to it, and then this kind of arced up like that, so it would give it there'd be some sort of a angle, like that neck is going to come out and then it's going to come up, and there's going to be a little bit of a bend to it, and it's going to get thicker, and then we can get into where that mouth is, and you can have this big mouth. Maybe even the neck is going to come down here. You can have this great big mouth that's going to be in there or something. That'd be cool. That would give it something different. This is really interesting. It's not exactly what I was expecting, but it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure what this does now. Is this bones, or is this like tendrils? Or then if that question is not being answered, then put it in a pose or like give us a pose wherein you can see these things doing something. Okay, so you want to take away those questions, like, so somebody can look at it and go like, oh, what are those things? It's like, well, those are like fingers on their rib cage, and they grab you as they're eating. All right, cute though. This is really cute. It needs to have like music playing in the background. Dingle, dingle, dingle. What's that noise? Oh, that's so cute. All right. Nice.
I think that's our last one. Do you have like any just like overall tips for the next crit, like suggestions or like anything you want to go back to?
Well, for me, I'd like to see this character with a sense of environment around it as well. Okay, because some of you guys are really far along. It's like some of these, everything's been answered. This one's pretty cool. And what's this character look like in a dark space? And I'm not quite sure how let me just read here. I'm not quite sure what the medallion is for, but that's beautiful. That medallion is really cool. I'm not quite sure how it relates to your monster. But I think from here, I'm definitely for the monsters. It's like seeing the monsters is now give them a little bit of an environment, just something. And I know some of you guys aren't like environment, you don't do environments and that kind of stuff, but just put it in a lighting setting so you can kind of see what it looks like with lighting on it and stuff. That would be a suggestion for me. I think as far as the characters go, there's a few characters in here that I want to what's his character look like? Okay, then try this. Okay, what's his character look like in a fight? This one's kind of cool because there's I don't know if I'm still sharing. Am I? Yeah. Like this one's kind of cool. It's like this one looks like it's in attack mode, right? But this one's, this one is this, and this one, is, you sold us on those, and it's like, yeah, that looks cool. But now, let's get that, it's like, hey, I'm flirty, and come over here and I'll show you my limp, that kind of stuff. And so I think for you guys now at this point is to get some character in your characters, right? And so let push your poses, find poses that give us 3 poses that this character could be in, like a battle pose, they're like a relaxed pose, and then whatever else, if they're something else that says something about their personality or something. If you can think of those kind of poses, I think that would be really cool. Oops, let me go back. And then I think, this one's awesome. This one, now it's time to throw some color in there and get the armor on that and do that kind of stuff. This is really nice. I really dig this one. So the poses are in there, lots of fun. You're playing around with a lot of cool stuff. And don't be afraid to put in stuff that I don't know if they would do that, but I'm going to put that there. And then everybody will go like, oh, no, 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 we don't want that, but at least it's there. Right. And so it's good to see that. So, that one's looking good. Throw some color on that. Now it's time to, make sure your armor's under control and do that kind of stuff. With the monsters, lighting, put these guys in stuff. Think about structure. Maybe even change to a view. It's like, what's this guy look like as he's creeping over a rock and he's going to come get you? It's like your first impression is you're going through this dark tunnel, this cave, and there's this light up ahead, and it smells like sulfur, and you can hear like bubbling goo, and it's hard to breathe as this gaseous, and then suddenly you hear this roar, and you look over your shoulder, and then your first impression of this thing is this sort of this mushy mayonnaisey character. It's like, hey, a mayonnaise monster. You're like, oh no, mayonnaise monster, where's my ham sandwich? Right? Or is it like, oh, I'm like this, I'm down in the depths and I'm gonna eat your and that kind of stuff. So maybe poses that say, like first impressions, and also like throw in color, and think solidity and that kind of stuff. This is awesome. So I know we're just reviewing now, but yeah, I think, let's see some lighting in there. I'm not quite sure where to take this one. I guess you didn't get a very good crit from me because I'm not exactly sure where this is going anymore. I think there was some interesting kind of broken up stuff that was bones, but it was like, if you went in a different direction, I think that'd be cool. But I think I think what's happening here is I'm seeing these rings starting to be more like the Jetsons. In the Jetsons, everything that's supposed to be futuristic has this little ring around it. And so if that could be explained a little bit, like I can see these bracelets, which are really interesting, but I'm not quite sure what these are, and like show me the value of them now. This is where you're going to sell me what this is about. And so I think that's the biggest question. It's like, I'm not quite sure what that is. And so if you can explain that to me, that'd be awesome. So I think that's cool. All right. Nice stuff. This is really good. This is really fun. Good stuff.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jeff. We appreciate your crits as always.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Does anyone have like just general questions about like things, just very general questions? We're not here to reveal who we are quite yet. Sorry, someone walked into my room. Okay. Yeah, but if there's any like general questions, yes, Frankie.
So for next time, are we supposed to have the characters rendered out and everything, or at what stage should we be out for next crit?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Go ahead, Nick. You're calling these shots.
Right. Generally for our very last crit, we want like finalized colors. We want to see like your like character in like at the least one like pose that sells exactly what the character is all about. If not one, if you can have more than that, like 2 other poses, 3, some expressions if you can, call outs, just in general, like your entire character should be like done. And if you have anything to add to that, Jeff.
Yeah, I think I agree. It's I think some of you are, I don't know, I think you could still check your poses. This is another, so now you have your reference to build the character. You have your components to start to manufacture the character, but now you want to shoot reference of yourself or a friend, like trying to be in those poses so that it's going to be easier for you to construct those things. And I think that's useful for all of you guys, even though some of you guys are like, I don't want to get on my all fours and try and be a monster and do that kind of stuff, but you'll still be able to see some interesting poses and stuff. As far as if this is the last crit, then or next Friday, I guess it would be the last crit. Okay, so if that's the last crit, then that now you imagine you're working with your client, and this is where your client and you have been in discussion, and now your client's like, okay, now just blow my socks off, right? And so you're going to go and you'll render it. You should put it in a lighting situation. Even Nick with his burning buildings back behind Nick is it's, you know, it's a lighting situation. It's like, and so that, you know, what does that monster look like? You know, this is where your client, whether it's your director, your client, or whoever it is, this is where they're going to look at it and go, yeah, you know, and that's really what we're looking for. And so this should say, you know, it's taken all the best stuff that you have and you've really worked it up. And you know, if it takes you, like that one with the spikes on the rib cage with the rings on it and stuff, that might take some more iterations, and those iterations you may not share with us, but it's still some steps that you have to climb before you get into your final show. Okay. And what you're going to do. And so then yeah, this should be, you know, why did you want to do this in the first place? And if you're, you know, it's like, oh, okay, I want to spend my winter break like drawing monsters. It's like, this is what I wanted to do. And so that's when it's, you know, it's painted out, it's posed in the way you want it to be posed. You can have some lighting styles on it and that kind of stuff. Okay. So and when I'm talking about that, it's not like I don't think you should concentrate on doing just environments unless you're big into environments, but like put it in, like if you could contain it in a space where it has some lighting on it and that kind of stuff, and then that's what's going to make it look cool. Okay. Think of it this way, like in Alien, the movie Alien, the good one, right? In Alien is scary mainly because you never get to see Alien except for its head for most of the movie, right? And it's lit that way, right? And then finally at the end of the movie, when she gets into the little space capsule and stuff, she blows the door, and then the alien's just a dude in a suit and he's kind of hanging on the door. He's like, hey, and then he falls off, and then she closes the door. That's what I'm talking about with lighting. So like, would Alien have been as scary if you could see his whole entire body, and then it was just like that ambient light that was shining on it at the beginning? No, it would be like, oh, that looks kind of strange, or, you know, I don't believe it. But because we couldn't see it all the time and that kind of stuff, it was hidden, it was posed in its poses that it wanted to do, or that we wanted to see it in, then it was scary and we believed it. Okay, so that's what we want to do. We want to believe what all of these things are, you know, whether they're characters or monsters, we want to believe them. Okay, or believe in them. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah. So this is the hot fudge stage, right? So you've already laid out the ice cream, you've cut the banana, and now you're putting the toppings on. Okay. I don't like ice cream, Jeff. All right, shut up. Whatever. You know what I mean. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
These are excellent, guys. Excellent. This is really fun. Thank you for sharing your work with me.
Yeah. So next meeting, last crit again, is next week, same time, Friday, 7 p.m. Hopefully without like any delays. Sorry about that. And yeah, I hope to see y'all then. If you guys want like crits before then, or like anyone to look at your things, don't be afraid to share in the Discord. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are willing to just like take a look, give their thoughts. Or if you just need like any sort of second opinion, like, do you like this color or this color palette? I'm sure people are like able to do that. So
yeah.
Thanks you guys.